In this video, I'm going to tell you how to maintain your muscle mass during a mini cut. So first things first, volume. So we know that volume is the primary stimulus for muscle growth, and so it is the primary stimulus and the most important stimulus for muscle retention. Now, how much volume should you do? Here you go. 10 to 12 sets per muscle group per week, roughly speaking, is a very good start. And the reason you want to do this is because you don't want to be doing 20 plus sets, because number one, it's going to be very hard on yourself because you're going to be hypercaloric, so in a calorie deficit. And the main purpose of a mini cut is to resensitize yourself from training. So when you get back to massing, bulking, then you're going to be real sensitive to that hypertrophy stimulus. So that 10 to 12 sets per muscle group per week. Now, when it comes to nutrition, again, you're going to be in a calorie deficit. In a mini cut, roughly speaking, you might have a calorie deficit of about 20 to 30%, and you might pick the more aggressive approach, especially if you have more body fat to lose. Now again, the main purpose here is to resensitize yourself to nutrients, so nutrient sensitivity. And keep in mind that the leaner you get, the more insulin sensitive you become. And we know that insulin is an anabolic hormone. And commonly, we know that the leaner you are, so if you, let's say you go from 15% body fat to 10% body fat, the leaner you are, and when you start bulking again, the more sensitive you are to mass gain and of course fat gain as well. Let's not beat it around the bush. Now, to use an analogy, the purpose of a mini cut, for those of you who don't know, it's literally like this, right? So imagine a car is driving 10 hours, right? And it's driving, but it has no stops, right? It just keeps, for example, in fitness terms now, it just keeps bulking. It never takes a break. Most likely, and this is very arguable, that you're not going to be very sensitive anymore for mass gain, for muscle gain. However, if you keep on driving, let's get some gas, let's get some fuel, and that's like symbolic for, or symbol for the mini cut. So you strip off some fat, bang, you fuel it up, you resensitize yourself, you go back at it again. Now you're going to get a lot further than that car that has a stop for gas. So that's an analogy for a mini cut. And again, some people can argue it that, yeah, if you keep on bulking, you're going to have more momentum. And in that sense, they are right. And to that point, just to make the video a bit longer, I guess, not that it should be actually, but here's the deal. It depends on the individual, and I say that all the time, adherence. I know it's not fancy, I know you don't buy a product or someone saying it depends on the individual. I know, but it's true. For someone like myself, I prefer a much more aggressive approach, right? I like going aggressive, I like bulking hard, I like cutting hard, I like that sort of stuff. For someone else, they maybe like to count their calories, literally, let's say most of their lifting career, and have a very small calorie deficit of about 100 to 200 and lean bulk. So anyway, it can be argued, but that's that. If you enjoyed the video, let me know. Leave your comments down below. As always, stay positive, stay smiling, and as always, let's get this in the next one.